A state of emergency in North Carolina and Virginia and mandatory evacuations for Dare County. All this as Hurricane Florence turns into a Category 4 hurricane. Good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us at noon. I'm Christina Robinson.
And I'm Dan Kennedy. Meteorologist Tim Panday. Just want to get straight to him right now because just a few seconds ago you said, hey, this is a Cat 4.
That's right, guys. They issued a special advisory at 12 p.m. at noon because they just got some new recon data from some of the hurricane hunters flying through the storm. And they found data that suggests that the winds are strong enough to upgrade it to a Category 4 hurricane. Right, intensification likely to continue. We'll talk more about this and how it shapes up for our forecast here for the rest of your work week in just a few minutes, guys.
Tim, thank you so much for that update. Now to a live picture from one of our cameras out in Duck, North Carolina. You can see some choppy waves out there, and this morning a mandatory evacuation was issued for Dare County.
And that is in effect right now for visitors and residents on Hatteras Island. And 13 News Now reporter Allie Weatherton joins us live from Nags Head with the latest on how people there are reacting. Allie, it looks like you're at a gas station. What are you seeing?
I am, Dan. I've talked to a couple people down here. They're telling me this is the calm before the storm. Take a look behind me. You can see the line. People are waiting to fill up here at the gas station. Now, if you don't have your emergency kit prepared right now, this is the time to do it. Pack for at least 5 days. Make sure you have food, water, stuff for your pets. If you have a child, make sure you have diapers and wipes. And we'll be here covering the storm. Live in Nags Head, Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
And right now, Virginia Beach is briefing residents on that city's storm plan, and we have a crew right there getting all the information.
So here's a live look at what they're saying right now. Let's take a listen.
Making sure that our generators associated with those pump stations are also operating properly and our fuel tanks are full.
Updated. So again, please make sure that you stay informed as this storm continues to wobble, and we are trying to keep track of the track. Please make sure that you stay informed. Thank you.
All right, that's an update now from Virginia Beach. Several officials there talking about their emergency plan ahead of Florence.
And of course, the big message here today is time to prepare is now. Get those kids ready, get a plan ready, and of course, we will keep you updated on the latest with the city of Virginia Beach there.
All right. And if you still need to get supplies for this storm, you may have a hard time finding out what you need. A lot of store shelves looked bare over the weekend. I was just at the grocery store an hour ago. They are still bare in some spots. Bottled water almost completely out in some areas. After a natural disaster, water may not be safe to drink. That's why it's important to stock up now on that bottled water. You still can find it out there at some stores, though. Make sure you do store it in a place that won't be exposed.
And right now, Navy ships in our area are getting ready to head out to sea. The Navy set sortie condition Alpha just after 11 this morning, and that means nearly 30 ships will get underway to avoid damage from Hurricane Florence. According to officials, Navy ships are actually better able to weather storms like Florence when they're out at sea, and military bases are also preparing for the storm. Some of those preps include securing hazards and clearing up debris from drains. 13 News Now reporter Megan Purrier will be there as ships set underway today, and she'll have the latest on 13 News Now starting at 4. And we have an update on conditions further south in North Carolina. This is drone video from Wrightsville Beach.
ABC's Rob Marciano has more on what conditions are like down there ahead of Florence.
A relatively calm day here in North Carolina. Rob Marciano, ABC News, Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina.
All right, still to come, the head of CBS is out. Les Moonves is facing several disturbing allegations of sexual misconduct.
We have the latest on his decision to leave. Now to that new Me Too fallout. The longtime chief executive of CBS, Les Moonves, is out.
That's after 6 more women came forward with disturbing allegations of sexual misconduct, in addition to the 7 who had already come forward. Here's more on that story.
The head of CBS is out. Les Moonves is stepping down amid new accusations of sexual assault and harassment. Moonves and CBS have announced they're immediately donating $20 million to organizations that support the Me Too movement, and that money will come directly out of any future severance Moonves may receive. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
All right, we know you want to know about Hurricane Florence, and Tim's coming up right after this with a check of its latest track. Again, now a Category 4. Welcome back at 12:17. Let's get straight over to Tim. Hey, Tim.
Hey, good afternoon, Dan. You know, today is the climatological peak of hurricane season, and yeah, it's pretty busy out there. 3 hurricanes all coexisting at once. Florence, Category 4 storm. We have Isaac, Category 1, and we have Helene, a Category 2, which is forecast to become the second major hurricane of the season. Tomorrow, pick of the week, because after that, we're going to be watching where Florence goes, and that could really change our weather big time. Mid-80s, and we'll watch Florence from Thursday afternoon onwards, and a lot of models are pointing at a stalling out scenario in which flooding would become a major problem depending on its track here for Hampton Roads.
So a lot could change, Tim, within the next 72 hours.
Yeah.
Intensity and the track, right?
I think intensity will stay quite certain that's going to be a major hurricane. It's exactly where that makes landfall that'll really determine what we see here locally.
Okay.
Okay, Tim, thank you.
Well, Tim spoke to the director of the National Hurricane Center.
Yeah, very interesting conversation. We'll have it coming up next.
Welcome back. Right now, teams of meteorologists are busy at work tracking the potential for Florence to make an impact as a major hurricane somewhere along the southeast coast.
And our meteorologist Tim Payne just spoke to the director of the National Hurricane Center. This is very interesting.
Joining me now to brief us on the situation is National Hurricane Center Director Ken Graham. All right, Director Graham, let's speak to the overall setup that's making the forecast track and intensity for Florence rather difficult.
Yeah, it has been difficult because we've seen the track, stay steady. We've really tried to keep it steady, but you got a high pressure to the north, which isn't really allowing it to turn up into the Atlantic. So,
and we could be in for a historic event coming our way later this week. Director Graham, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, we have more on Hurricane Florence coming right up. Stay with us. All right, it is a very busy day around here. We know it is for you as well as we all prepare for Hurricane Florence. We have a packed half hour of news and weather for you. I'm Dan Kennedy.
And I'm Christina Robinson. Hurricane Florence is now a major storm. The hurricane was upgraded to a Category 4 just within the last half hour. And now Currituck County has issued a state of emergency and is now telling all vacationers, all guests to evacuate. Tim is back with another look at what the storm is looking like now. Hey, Tim.
Hey, guys, beautiful presentation here on satellite imagery, a very symmetrical, well-defined major Category 4 hurricane there. We expect strengthening to continue, probably a Category 5 within its lifetime, moving over very warm ocean waters. We'll talk more about how this affects our forecast coming up in your full forecast in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you for that update. So here's an important question. If a hurricane hits, are you prepared to take your pet with you?
Yeah, we found out what you need to know to protect your furry friend from Hurricane Florence. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin went to the Virginia Beach SPCA to find out.
From people to pets, storm preparations are in full swing in case of Hurricane Florence. In Virginia Beach, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
All right, about 30 minutes ago, we got an update from the city of Virginia Beach for their plan for Florence. The city says it's focusing on making sure that pump stations are working properly. They're also checking the drainage system for anything that could potentially block water from draining. City officials are also in contact with VDOT just in case the governor orders evacuations. 13 News Now reporter Erin LeBeau was at that news conference. She'll be back down at the city full plan tonight, starting on 13 News Now at 4.
And we just got this tweet in from Dare County schools. They will be closed for all students and staff starting tomorrow and through the remainder of the week. They've also canceled all after-school activities for today. Again, that is Dare County schools in North Carolina. A warning now from officials at Naval Station Norfolk ahead of the storm. Do not leave your car parked on the base this week. We're told the area is prone to heavy flooding, especially the parking lots near the waterfront. These are pictures from previous storms. If it's absolutely necessary to leave your car, use the parking lots towards the center of the base or on the air side.
And as we've been talking about this right now, we are bracing for whatever Hurricane Florence may bring our way. If heavy rains cause roadways to flood, here's a few things to keep in mind. So just 6 inches of water can stall your car and cause you to lose control. A foot of water can cause a small car to float, actually, and 2 feet of water can wash away most cars. If you see water on the road and you're not sure how high it is, don't chance it. Just turn around.
Well, Hurricane Florence is still hundreds of miles from land, but rain is already taking over Hampton roads. You can see some heavy flooding in Virginia Beach yesterday. Water can build up fast when it has nowhere to go. Drew Langford with Virginia Beach Public Works says it's something everyone can help avoid.
When we have a forecast like we've got now, hold whatever you're going to set out for collection this week, whether it's yard waste, trash, garbage, whatever. Hold it till the day of collection if possible.
If you can't hold the garbage, Linkford says to place your bags 12 to 18 inches from the curb so water can drain. To report any immediate after-hour flooding problems, just call 311.
And take a look at this. The hurricane hunters are busy flying through Hurricane Florence. They've sent back these pictures from inside the storm. Pilots and photographers are in special planes that you see right there. They're designed for studying storms of this size. NOAA is getting ready to send another plane very soon. The first flight wrapped up Saturday.
And remember, 13 News Now has a great resource to help get you storm ready. You can download the free Hurricane Guide from 13newsnow.com. It has supply lists, important phone numbers, and more.
And we want to see your photos of the storm, but only if it's safe to do so. Email your pictures to us at shareit@13newsnow.com or share them on Facebook or Twitter.
A scary sight right after Willoughby Spit in Norfolk yesterday. People sent us videos from the HRBT and the beach. The National Weather Service is calling it a possible tornado. We spoke with some residents near the storm where a massive tree fell on a building. They consider themselves pretty lucky.
When the tree snapped, it happened so fast. I mean, there's nothing you can do. It just happened so fast.
Somebody said everybody get down, and the next thing you know, the tree's on top of us.
It's pure luck, really.
If one limb would hit anybody, they wouldn't be here today.
There was some more damage around the area. You can see another tree fell right in front of this house. Luckily, it didn't hit any cars or the home. Now to a live picture from Wachapreague on the eastern shore.
We're seeing some gray skies up there. Coming up on 13 News Now at noon, we'll bring you another update on the forecast as well as Florence.
All right, developing in Portsmouth, police are investigating a homicide happened on Center Avenue just after 11 last night. That's near Elm Avenue. We're told the victim is a man. No other information is available at this time, but perhaps you know something that can help out police. If so, call the crime line.
An overnight crews in Suffolk were to clear an accident along Route 58. It happened eastbound near the bypass just before 11:30 last night. And this is a picture from that scene. According to officials, a tractor trailer and another car were traveling side by side when one of them sideswiped the other. The tractor trailer ended up on its side, as you see there. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Right now, Virginia Beach police are searching for a missing woman. This is 56-year-old Jermaine Sion. She was last seen at her home on 27th Street this weekend. We're told she left her cell phone, keys, and wallet behind. If you know where she is, call police immediately. All right, now to a live picture from the Virginia Beach oceanfront.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with another check of the forecast in Florence. Today is the day Greenies will officially close its doors forever. The Ocean View staple is Norfolk's oldest continuous restaurant and bar. So back in March, you might remember this, the city bought Greenies and the Ocean View Diner for more than $2 million. It plans to demolish the buildings and turn the space into public beach access.
Also happening today in Suffolk, if you see smoke coming out of the city's storm drains, it's not a big deal. The city is just testing its sewer system over the next few weeks. They're going to put a door hanger on your door if you're in the area that'll be tested. It includes places like Riverside Estates, Riverfront, Old Town, and Barrett Acres. That smoke, by the way, is harmless.
Well, Tim has the final check on your forecast.
That's coming up next. All right, welcome back. We're still talking about Hurricane Florence and its approach to the East Coast. A state of emergency is in effect for North, South Carolinas, and Virginia, and a mandatory evacuation is in place for Hatteras Island, and that is underway, with more coming tomorrow in the Dare County area. We should also tell you that during this newscast, we've received words that Currituck County is also evacuating all visitors from there beginning tomorrow morning. Dare County schools also are going to be closed for the week starting tomorrow, with afternoon activities canceled starting today.
And right now, Navy ships in our area are getting ready to head out to sea. The Navy set sortie condition Alpha just after 11 this morning, and that means nearly 30 ships will get underway to avoid damage from Hurricane Florence. According to officials, Navy ships are actually better able to weather the storms like Florence when they're out at sea. Military bases are also preparing for the storm. Some of those preps include securing hazards and clearing up debris from drains. 13 News Now reporter Megan Purrier will be there as ships set underway today. She will have the latest for us starting at 4 o'clock. And now for Hurricane Florence forecast, we head to meteorologist Tim Pandages. Hey, Tim.
Hey, good afternoon, Christina. We're going to start off with the wide shot of the Atlantic Basin because Florence isn't the only hurricane out there. There are 2 others, 3 in total. And coincidentally, the last time this happened was this exact same time last year. And there's a look at your 7-day forecast. Going to just throw a pick of the week on there for tomorrow because after that, things could get quite dicey here. Of course, all dependent on what happens with Florence and where that storm will track.
Tim, indeed, all eyes on the forecast. And actually, just within the last 5 minutes, we got word that Ocracoke Island, there is an evacuation for all visitors effective noon today.
They're joining the likes of Dare County and Currituck County as well doing these evacuations. We have all this information on 13newsnow.com. We're going to be updating that throughout the day.
Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.